Okay, and welcome to another stream of Vintage Story. Now, I've done a couple of these streams over on Twitch just to see what the situation like that is over there. Honestly, not a fan. I talk about this sometimes, but I just hate the lack of permanency and the short term, you know, thinking that happens over there. I mean, YouTube stores your videos forever, and so I like to do it there. I have this like almost hoarder mentality about my videos. Like people want to see them, people are watching them, blah blah blah. And so anyway, we're gonna be popping on into the world here now. Since the last time I streamed on YouTube, it's been quite a lot of work in my base, and it is now winter, which is like the first winter since my arrival in this server. So it's gonna be fun. Um, in other words, we've done a lot, and it's been a full year, so we've got a good setup, but we're at that fun stage of the game. You might call it sort of the late game, where instead of doing the basics to survive, we actually are surviving quite well. Now we're doing the fun things to like build up our power and our prestige on the server, if you will. So I'll probably stream for like an hour or so today. And by the way, I know there's some people out there who've asked me if I'm still doing my single player world. I am. I don't know if I explained this before, but I lost some content for some reason. I lost some footage, and I just got really flustered at that, and so I chose to take a break from editing my videos. But I do have most of the content. I just need to think of a workaround from what I lost, basically, but it's not a huge deal. I will get to that. Okay, now we are truly and fully in winter, December 23rd. Let me just give you a quick tour of what I've done. So obviously, I don't remember the last time I streamed on YouTube, but we've got our beautiful farm here, which is still growing somehow. I might want to harvest some parts of it. These crops are probably fine though. I mean, if there are days where it's over 1 degrees, they still grow. Hold on one second, if you don't mind. I don't mind the music, but it does get a little loud, and I just want to make sure it's balanced. Okay. So, I still am paranoid about this. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to pop this up on my phone just to make sure it sounds okay. So just give me a second here. Yes. Okay, so we're good. I think that 5 might be good even. Okay. So you can actually still hear the music, but you can clearly hear my voice over it. I should learn to trust the visual indicators on my thing here, but I don't. I like to hear it, so anyway. Been working on my this is my charcoal pit. I've expanded it. It started out as like a 3x3x2, and now it's a, I don't know, 7x7x3, I think. I don't find any emergent benefit to going huge, even though that's pretty big. But I know people do like 11x11x11s and things, and I just think that's insane. And it doesn't give you anything better than what you've already got. So anyway, there's a lot of trees that I've planted along here, and there's a lot of I've harvested pretty much all the resources from the island now, other than, you know, renewables and dirt and gravel and sand and things like that. I've built this little bridge over to the mainland now. It's still very much rudimentary. It's just bald cypress planks, and then I don't even finish the 2 thickness all the way down. So it's pretty cool. And then I've got this cute little beachside resort building down here, and this is my survival bunker for temporal storms. Now basically my strategy is I've got this set up where drifters can, technically they could get in if they wanted. If they came up to this block, jumped up here, walked over here, crawled, went down one, and got up and walked again, they would be able to make it in. But so far, I haven't had any drifters make it in, so it's a relatively safe place. And I can get out by using a series of maneuvers like that, but I find that the drifters cannot. I don't know, probably just get rid of this. So, I've got all these trees over here. This is kind of my tree area. A lot of oak trees and stuff over here. Some, what's that type of maple? Crimson King maple. Just grab a... I'm kind of paranoid about, like, losing access to certain species of plant and tree. So I'm like, let me just grab a seed here real quick while I'm thinking about it. I do have plenty of these trees around. I just don't necessarily think I have a seed sitting on me. Here we go. Oh, those are regular maple. I want the crimson maple. See, what I always want to do, pretty much, is I always want to have, like, an extra seed of every type of tree in case I, like, go around chopping trees without, you know, figuring out whether I'm gonna get a seed from them or not. Okay, well, I don't think I got one on that one. Sometimes I find, and this is probably not true, but sometimes I get the sense that if you harvest something in winter... Oh, shoot, I'm out of food. If you harvest something in winter time, it will not produce as many seeds. So, I hope that's not true, but there we go. Sometimes you gotta clean out your stuff there. I need food, so... this is regular maple, crimson... Okay, this is Crimson King. I've never read anything that would support that suspicion, but I am very paranoid about things. Oh, here we go. I got two there. Okay, we'll just accept that as a reasonable outcome. Now, one thing that I don't like about this game is that it does a very bad job at changing food decay rates based on temperature. So right now, the best way to preserve food is putting it in underground storage with a vessel. But you would think that if I had... It's negative 6 degrees Celsius. That's like 4 degrees Fahrenheit or something. And yet these are only good for 125 days. So I wish they would change that so that they were good for like years out here at Frozen, you know? That's one thing that Terra Firmacraft does right, is that in the winter, it's a pain in the ass to survive, but at least your food doesn't deteriorate. Okay, so it is actually convenient that I logged in when I did, because it's morning. So let me show you a few other things. So we're actually just off the solstice, the winter solstice. So one thing I want to do that I do this in a lot of my worlds, you may have seen this before, is I've made a sundial. Now it's okay, and I've actually just realized I've got a problem with my sundial based on the acacia trees over here. Let me just... So what I'm going to do... So there's 30-day months, and I think the solstice, therefore, would typically be the 20th when it switches to winter. But I could be wrong on that. The default server, or sorry, default single player world settings, I think it's like 9-day months or something like that, or maybe it's 8 or 10. And so those you have to like gauge. It's like 7. The 7th is the solstice or whatever. Here it's a little bit closer to real life. So I've got 30-day months, which is basically real life. 31 days, 30 days. It so happens that the solstice shifts around a little bit on the real calendar from like the 20th to the 22nd. But I think given the lack of one additional day in this world, I think we're going to assume that it was the 20th. So basically, we're like a couple days after the solstice, although in real life the 23rd may well be the solstice, or at least the day after the solstice. And so what I'm going to do based on that... Okay, and we did get plenty of acacia seeds there. Is I'm gonna just, by the way, acacia does have the ability to seep resin, but only when it's not freezing out and in the winter months. So basically, it's during the summer in the southern hemisphere is essentially the mechanic, I believe. So it's not going to work here. I tried it. I don't think it's going to work here. So I'm just going to collect up all my attempts at that. And that should be good for purposes of getting my sundial to work here. But the sun, as you can see, is rising there on the horizon. So let me just finish this one last tree up real quick. I just wanted to get some clearance so you could see what I was doing here. Okay, actually, there's one more tree I gotta get. Last one here. Okay. And I'll get as many of these blocks of wood as I can. I might run out of inventory. But what I want to do is I want to place a sundial marker at the sunrise point and the sunset point. And this is going to be a little bit off. This is going to be just a little bit off because it's not truly the solstice. It's like a day or two after. Maybe 3 days after. The solstice, if the solstice was the 20th, that means the sunrise and the sunset that day would be the shortest of the year. So what I want to do basically is if this is the sundial, I want to see where it casts its shadow fundamentally at sunrise, which would be right about here, really. I mean, right about there, actually. So, I mean, here's the deal. It's going to go over the sky like that. This is the south facing, and, you know, at noon it'll be lined up here, and then at sunset, presumably it'll be lined up over here somewhere. But in the summer, what we would expect is for it to be sunrise being over here, going way over the sky like that. And so what we would expect in the summer, actually... Oh, you know what? I just realized. Yeah, I should probably make the dial itself this middle one. I always forget how to do this, and then I fuck it up. Okay, so... Probably... Right, I guess we'll put it there. So what I've done is I've put too many blocks on this thing, and not enough in the middle. The middle needs to be the sundial, actually. So let me just... Here. I'm gonna make a quick chest. And let me just put a few things in this chest. Okay. Now, let me think of the best way to do this. Probably the ladders. We'll just use the ladders and just carve it down. Okay, there we go. So I've marked the sunrise there with that log. See, actually you can see the shadow, and it's gonna move across. This is actually a good viewing I should make a viewing platform here so I can see that shadow move across. But as the sun goes across the sky and sets over here, it's gonna cast a shadow over to here. And then in the summer, when the sun rises over here, that shadow is gonna start here and it's gonna end here. So basically that arc is what I'm tracking. And the reason I'm doing that, aside from having like a claim to astronomical knowledge in a role-playing sense, is to basically allow myself to align, you know, certain buildings or you know, builds up with the solstice, like ancient peoples did around the world, like the pyramids or certain Native American sites, or in Thailand they align Angkor Wat and so forth and so on. So that's the reason I'm doing that. That's gonna bug me. There's an acacia block that didn't come down with its friends. Ugh, hold on. There we go. All right. Okay, so I think I've basically done what I want to do here to at least get this started. Let me just finish what I was mentioning and go ahead and I should probably put the ladder on the same side consistently. Okay. So let me just go up about. That should be fine. Okay. So now I've got a pretty good sun pillar and, you know, pretty good marking here for the solstice. So I'm also going to go ahead and let's just make a quick sign. Oh, actually I've already got here. Okay. So sign, just 2 planks and a stick there. And I don't necessarily have anything to... I can't write with rot, can I? No. Didn't think so, but you never know. So I'll come back and write winter solstice on that. And that's an approximation. And then what we know from that is if I build some... By the way, it's not quite 45 degrees, is it? It's a little off. It's 45 degrees would have been that one. That could be just a matter of me being imprecise, but that's going to change based on your altitude. So I mean, basically I'm doing like 16th century compass work here, you know. But it is really interesting, and that shadow is fun. And by the way, you know, I could put like a time markings along here. Although that's going to change. I wonder how real sundials do it. I should look into that. How real sundials account for the changing of the seasons. I'm sure there's some sort of thing that they do to fix that. Okay, so anyway, continuing with my tour. Here's some chickens. I'm a little bit behind on my chicken husbandry. I've got up to generation 2 in here. I probably should start getting rid of the older ones. Non-Gen 2. These guys right here. This Gen 1. And... Okay. Well. So this is basically how you improve your animals, is you kill off the old ones and you let the young ones continue to get domesticated. So, you know, we can keep doing that, but like this hen, this one right there is Gen nothing. It's not even, it's from the wild. It's like one of the OG chickens. So if we get rid of these older ones, the newer ones are more likely to lay the eggs and therefore produce the next generation. I need more feed in there. Okay, so that's the chickens. I've got bees here. The bees are going to start to get dormant now that it's freezing weather, but I've got 3-4 of my 7 hives with bees in them for the winter, so that should be fine. I've got tons of pigs. I need to, like, cull some of these pigs. I got some grass there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get rid of some of this acacia wood by adding it to the charcoal pile here. I'll talk about the other animals in just a minute. Just give me a second here, guys. Okay, so, okay, good progress on this, and actually I've got more acacia in that chest over there. I could go add to that as well, but we definitely want to get more charcoal going here. So anyway, we already saw the farm, and then, yeah, I've got these very basic pens. What I want to do is I want to build a barn basically right here. Problem is I've got this path here, but I could easily reroute that or do something else with it. I could put it through here, I guess. I'm not sure. I could always move the charcoal pit too. But I want to build like a barn that's like a 2-tier barn that allows both sets of animals inside, and it might even overlap right onto these trays. And actually what I could do is I could build it starting here. What if I built an acacia barn? How would that look? Probably not great. But I don't even know what acacia planks look like. So let me just test that. I think, okay, they're pretty red. Actually, you know, red barn. I do want some stonework on the, at least the base of the barn. But what if I just did something like this, where I started here, and then, you know, had a roof kind of curving upward to over the barn, and essentially have it go up over the, here, I can, and maybe round it off a bit here, and then have it kind of face over these, you know, these troughs and whatnot. I think that might look okay. But I want to get some, like, cobblestone foundations for it. Yeah, it'd be fine. Yeah, okay. So, we'll do that. Another sign, I'll just put that down. Signs are useful, and I love them, but I often find myself having them needlessly. Yeah, this server has snowballs. I hate snowballs in this game. They just take up inventory. There's no use for them whatsoever. I do have, like, fluids, and I have a ton of vinegar. I didn't know the vinegar could actually go rotten. That's interesting. Now I'm making compost out of the rot. I've got leather happening down here. Yeah, we're actually ready to move it to the strong tannin. So we'll go ahead and do that. So this is our leather works temporarily. I might move it inside. It would be really easy to move inside because you can just give yourself a infinite water source inside, and then being next to the ocean doesn't matter at all. So these will all turn into leather in 4.5 days, and then I've got these small hides coming in the back end to use the little dribble of leftover material. And what we need to do here is scrape these right quick, and then place them one by one in these barrels. And as you can see, they'll turn into that stage that the other one was at. Okay, so there's that. I do make salt from time to time in these barrels simply by adding sea salt or seawater into the barrel and sealing them for 20 days. So let's do that. When I'm not making leather, I'm using the leather barrels for salt production as well. And this is kind of slow going. You can also boil this and get the salt faster, but that takes a lot more active work, and this is passive work, so I like doing it this way. And so this gives me 20 salt every 20 days. The leather would give me, what, 9 times 5, so 45 salt every 20 days. So for a total of 65 salt, which is like a full barrel's worth of salt, so it's kind of nice. Okay, let me show you this. So, my main keep is this building here. It used to be one of those Coliseum things. They had the stairs facing down. I basically took out most of the stairs. I still have some residually. And then I dug this secondary chamber. This is my storage area. I've got cats everywhere, by the way. You'll have to pardon me. I do need to deal with this problem, because a lot of my cats are just reproducing voraciously, and I need to, like, slow their roll. But the problem is you can't stop feeding them, because if you stop feeding them, then their obedience goes down and eventually they go wild again. And so what I need to do is I need to get the most... Okay, this one is, like, new. I need to get, like, the most tamed cats, or, like, the most, like, resilient to returning to the wilderness cats, and then I need to abandon all the old ones and kill them, I guess, or whatever. I wish I could spay or neuter the cat. Is there a way to neuter cats? I don't think so. They should probably add that in the mod that adds the cats, because I love the cats. I love having cats. I just wish I had like 3 and not 10. Okay, here's the roof of my keep. And I do have a cat wandering about out here. Oh, that's one of my OG cats. Yeah, these guys are not going to mature. This is my Greenspire cypress farm. But those won't mature until spring, so even though it says 1 day, no, spring. Here's my coke ovens. I've got some processed coke in there. Here's my steel, my cementation It's at 72%, which means that I need to add more fuel. So what I'm going to do is we're going to grab the Coke out of here. And why don't we just use that over here. You can use charcoal or Coke to fuel your cementation furnace. Alright. And let's see. So we'll put the rest of this away. And then we're going to take the 32 brown coal and we're going to turn that into Coke. Continue the pipeline. Basically, I went over last time I was logged on and mined up a bunch of this brown coal, and now I'm turning it into the more potent and useful Coke. Brown coal, just for what it's worth, can be used to smelt some things. I believe it burns at 1100. Yeah, 1100, which is just hot enough to melt copper, but not some other things. And Coke burns, as you can see there, at 1340. Charcoal burns at 1300, so very similar products here. But brown coal needs to be, processed. Okay, so with that, oh, I need to light this, sorry. Alright, so that's lit, and this will light this one. Okay, come on. There we go. And so that should take this batch of steel up to about 92%, 91%. So if I relight that one more time, I'll have a batch of steel. I do have a batch of steel sitting here, by the way, that I can make. It's blister steel. I need to make that into actual steel. I've got a bunch of ingots of all different types here. So I'm very... I don't want for anything in this base. Oh. That's not what I meant to do. I was trying to get rid of this water in this little thing. There we go. Okay, now I do have a meal sitting out here, and it is good for 84 days. So grab up some of that just to have. Let me go put these seeds away down below. So this is my storage area down here. Okay, this one needs... where did I put those? I just had those cat treats, didn't I? Did I put them back away? No, whatever. I'm gonna hang on to a few of those. Okay, so that's really what I wanted, is keep the crimson there. Put these feathers in there. Put the salt away. I've been curing meat in here. Cured meat is like one of the most resilient foods in the game. It doesn't deteriorate forever. And so as you can see, these are good for years, and that's just holding them in my pocket. If I put them down here, they're good for even longer. So this bin in particular is full of super preserved food. These pemmikins are good for 2 years as well. So all this is like my most preserved food. A lot of these grains are quite preserved as well. And then I've got pickled things, and those are pretty well preserved. My fruit is going to last the least long. It's going to go pretty quick. And then unpickled veggies are similar to dried fruit. The exception being the oranges. The oranges last a long time. So what we want to do, essentially, is the next time I need to make a meal or something, I'll come down here and start using up some of that fruit before it goes bad. If I keep it in that sealed status, it'll last twice as long as you were seeing on the menu there. Okay, so let me, I'm going to place these in here. And let me go down and recruit this little kitty on my candles. Not a safe place to hang out, little guy. And you can hear him purring. There's another wild kitten, Gen 1. And that's Gen 1 as well. Oh. I thought this was Generation 1. Well, what I might want to do, here's something I'm wondering about, is How do you abandon pets? Okay, here we go. So I could abandon. Let me see what that does. I think that means he's just going to wander off, right? So... and probably despawn, I'm guessing? I don't know. I think that's my only solution to this problem. So I put G1 in some of their names, like this one here, for example. Let's go ahead and abandon that one as well. And let's just see what happens with those two abandoned. Now, I'm not trying to be cruel. I just need to deal with that. Okay, so... and I don't need these bones at all. So, what I've been working on is this section here. This is my new section here. This is going to be a sort of, the beginning of the main style of this build. So what I want to really do is use a lot of this pink marble. And I'm starting these columns here. And they're going to support our claystone brick. And the claystone brick, I don't like the fact that it's called claystone, but I really like the color. Especially, sorry, when it's paired up with either these beautiful... sorry, I can't break them, but... excuse me. One of these two brick roof shingle types. Now, one thing I wanted to check out, that's OG Condorcet. One thing I wanted to check out, I know that the game allows for slate bricks, slate roof. So I was gonna just get some slate stone and double check that recipe. So that is one clay with some thing. Okay, so if I go like this, I think it was. Yeah. Okay. So a stack of slate leads to that many roof. Now I can definitely use this roof if I don't use it somewhere over here, but you know, I'm curious how that would look. That's not what I want. I mean, I kind of like that with the peridot. Let me just get rid of these. So these are just a sampling of some of the cobblestone I have plenty access to. So we've got like bauxite, slate, shale, marble, peridotite, limestone, and that might be it. Okay, so and claystone. I think that looks good with the peridotite, maybe the limestone, maybe the bauxite, maybe the shale. Not with itself though, probably. I don't know. So there's some options there, but it is cool to have a few of those as well. So I guess, you know, I'm curious what this would look like. I'm just gonna put these here for now, just to kind of for storage. Oh. That sound is a horrifying sound. It basically means your cat is taking damage, and it's very loud and scratchy, and it like freaks me out every time I hear it. Okay, there's probably a separate block for the corner there. It's fine. I'm curious how that looks. I mean, it kind of feels pretty cool. So anyway, the goals for today's episode are twofold. I want to do some building over here. I don't know, that could work. Maybe. With the granite there. But really what I want to do, couple things. I got to learn how to copy a chisel job, because I want all of these columns essentially to look like what I'm building here. So what we could do, just for a little bit, is work on this. So if I go like that, I'll start with these. gonna just make this whole thing like that. Basically, I'm just copying this pattern here. Okay, and so that's that size, and then we switch over to using F. We go to the 2x2 and get these little corner guys out of there. A little tedious, but you know, we got to do it step by step here. Okay, so that is a completely chiseled column. Now, I could go more circular than this. I could, if I really wanted to, do the 1x1s and make it like all precise like that, you know? Whoops. And that would get real grainy. So I think I've made a calculated choice not to do that. We're just gonna keep it simple and a little bit blocky, which kind of, I think, adds to it. So we're gonna keep it like that. So then what we want to do is we want to kind of, you know what I just realized? I may not want to move all the, I may want to go with the clay stone over here. I'm not sure. Because this, if it's a column, needs to essentially copy this. So this, by the way, down here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I believe is the top of that block. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the top. And so 2 of those are still from that prior thing, which implies that I want it to be, I don't know. Okay, and of course I do have a way back up here. It's just a little inconvenient to get over here. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do here. Like, I was thinking, what if I carved arches out of these? But now I'm thinking, you know, if you look at like a marble column vaulted ceiling, you'd get this. So you'd get the base of the marble here connecting to elaborate architecture at the top of the column, not at the bottom, or not as part of the column, you know? So you'd get like some sort of arch carved here, but the columns would stop about, you know, 3/5 of the way up, and then this guy's like some guy's business, you know. So that's essentially what you'd get. So really, what I would want to do, if I were going to do that, is stop here essentially. So I don't know. Maybe I should actually just do that. So in other words, what I'm saying is this: here is where this block starts. It's right here. And I think what I want to do is I want to keep this simple. So I'm going to make this base a little bit more basic, you know? And we're going to go ahead and draw this down. So that it's all the same. And what that does now as you can see, that line that's not what I wanted. I don't want to chisel that. It's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so that is still part of this upper block there. So again, we gotta do that. We'll see how this looks. I may need to work on the bottom one now to compensate for that change. Yeah, it's a little abrupt. So I think the easy way to fix that is maybe take that off a bit. And this off a bit. Okay, so that is pretty good. And what if I did that? Nah. Anyway, sorry, I just get a little lost in this. What if I did that? Oops. Nah. You know what? This is probably fine. So, watch that be a different type of block now. Yeah. Yep, it won't let me stack that anymore because I chiseled it and I replaced what I chiseled. So let's delete that from the world. Okay, so now we're getting to the point where we need to taper this top one. So what I want to do is I just want to take this and replace it up top. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, let me just make sure this is perfect. Let me try. Hold on. Sorry, I'm eating like crappy meals right now, so I get very low saturation from these meals. But all right. And by the way, like I chisel a little bit in this game, but I don't usually chisel that much. It was what? Hold on. I just did something. I had an idea and then I lost it. Oh, I was gonna do this. That's what I was gonna do. Okay. Oops. Okay. So, by the way, this is what marble carver people, marble masons, whatever they were called, worked in little workshops. They didn't want to keep falling into the sea. No, I like this better. So, do I like that or that better? I think I like this. Okay, so I guess I'll stick with that. That's gonna have to be good enough. And you know what? It's fine. So, now how do we copy a chiseled block? And of course, it's going to bring me to all these videos. But let me see if I can find... let me just... I gotta look up how to do that. I think there's a way to do this. Okay, so... I probably should have looked this up offline. Alright, it looks like there's some mods. Okay, so I think what I need to look up in-game is chisel tools. Okay, chisel tools. Here we go. Use on chisel blocks to quickly add and remove material. Hand wedge, rotate, mirror, or move your chisel piece. So mirror, hand wedge is what I need. Okay, so and I maybe need a pantograph as well. So hand wedge, pantograph, and hand planer. So now is the time of the episode where we switch into smithing. The other thing I want to do on this episode is I want to start making a meteoric iron scale mill. Sorry, I'm just moving these around a bit. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to start accumulating armor. I've got some iron chains, some copper lamella, some leather. I'm wearing a gambeson, essentially with a tailored gambesoid helmet. By the way, I forgot to look if my auctions had sold earlier. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So in order to make some steps I need to definitely do my charcoal pit soon as well. I'm gonna go ahead and make up some stuff. Actually, let's just do one full set of full charcoal on each of these forges. I need to like also build one of those things that allows you to turn off your windmill. I actually have it, transmission. I need a clutch as well, but whatever, we'll figure that out. I'll get to that in a bit, but let me just start out by let's make these into steel. There's literally no point of them being blister steel other than just to say, hey, I've got a random pile of blister steel ingots. So, and that's actually not the worst idea. Just to kind of make it look like I have more ingots. So I'll leave 2 of them there, just for decoration, but I'll make up the rest of them. So let's start with that. And I'm going to stagger the timing of when I light these things, just so I get a little bit more time to work with on some of them. I also have a few iron blooms that I could put in. Actually, you know what I should probably do is I should probably go ahead and activate my health hammer instead. So let's do that. Okay. And light this one. I also need to make a steel anvil. Maybe I should work on that. It doesn't have to be a steel anvil, I just want it to be. It could be another iron anvil, but I need a... Basically, I need to put a better anvil up here. And I love me my bronze anvil, but it's going to go the way of this copper one, I have the feeling. Okay, so we'll wait for that to heat up, and let's have a quick bite. And now that's used up. Okay. Where are my abandoned pets? It was Spinoza and Condorcet G1 that I abandoned. So I'm just curious if they're hanging around or... yeah. Yep, he is. I can't click on him anymore. So he's hanging around, but he's not mine anymore. So I don't know if that means he will despawn at some point or what, but I'll have to experiment with that and come back to it. Now, in order to make scale mail, by the way, in this game, you have to first make a iron, or not iron, so you first have to get a chain body armor, which requires 11 plate, or chain. Same with helm. You just add scale onto it, so it's pretty cool. It looks really cool, and the reason I'm making that is because I was recently rewatching The Lord of the Rings, because I just watched Rings of Power and I felt, hey, let's rewatch Lord of the Rings. So one of the cool armor types in the game was these Rohani riders. Some of them had scale mail. Well, I'm not sure if that's... Yeah, that's them, right? Yeah. And it looked really cool in the battle, so I figured, let's make scale mail today. Is that the game? That's the game. It's hard to see. Hard to find So they have different armor in different movies too. Here, like this is definitely scale mill. That's definitely scale mill. So anyway, I just was inspired to make scale mill after seeing a couple scenes from that movie recently. Yeah, this one has scale mill, at least on the background guy. He's got more of a plate thing going on, but you see where I'm going with that. So, okay, and we're ready. So I'll put the other steel in here. Now these steel ingots are ridiculously easy to forge. Sorry about the dark screen there for a second. You just get rid of all the slag, and then you get rid of the extras here. And I do have a couple perks that make this go even faster sometimes, so if we get lucky it'll just like auto, yep, like that, exactly. And I also have a duplicator perk, which like once in 5% chance of making 2 of the item I'm not sure if that applies to ingots, but I know that's kind of loud, but I'm not sure that it's so loud that it's problematic. Let's get that OBS back on top there. Okay. That's pretty loud. Let me turn that down a bit. Still pretty loud. Okay, that seems to have turned it down a bit. That's fine. It's still gonna sound loud, so I'll just talk nice and loud myself. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's get some of these iron blooms processed as well. But we might go ahead and make those tools that I mentioned earlier for the chiseling out of steel. So, I'm not sure. We also need to make the meteoric iron chains starting now. But yeah, these go really quick. Okay, that one was easy. And we've got one more batch there, so let's grab a handful of these, because we're going to need 11 chain, probably, I don't know the total, we're going to need at least 11, probably like 20, 19 chains or something like that, so start getting those heated up after those irons. Okay, so let's get this one. And you know, you get pretty good at this minigame, this blacksmithing minigame, and you usually don't even stop holding the button down. You just quickly move to the next voxel. If you make a mistake, hopefully it's not in the last one, and you just fix it like that. Oh, and by the way, the reason I could fix it using that tool instead of moving the voxel itself to heavy hit, I've got a perk that automatically causes the heavy hit to move the voxel where it needs to go. So that's a perk thing that usually you would have to, like, let's say you accidentally move that voxel out of place, you would have to manually move it back into place. Not a huge deal either way. Pretty easy to fix either way, but the perk makes it just slightly more convenient. Okay, so that one, the perk took that one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and place, yeah, I'll place all these steel away, and then I'll use these for the tools that I want to make out of steel. Then let's start putting meteoric iron down. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and... I could make the scale mill out of steel, and maybe someday I will. But... what did I do? Oh no. Fuck. I fucked it up. Okay, that's me being arrogant. Can I, hang on. Ah. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back, and then I'm gonna switch these anvil temporarily, because I think the health hammer might be able to, by the way, I probably need to upgrade my health hammer here to steel as well. Can you save this? Yes, you can save it. Okay, so this will auto save that blister steel by making it into a ingot itself. Okay. And by the way, I do get experience for when the Help Hammer works on things because of a perk called Machine Learning. Except for it doesn't think there's enough voxels there, so it'll never complete that. Okay. Well, that sucks. Okay, well, I'm just gonna have to accept that I've fucked up one of my things. That's fine. So the bronze anvil can work these. So I'll let it just do its thing up there. This one, what the thing to do here is just go ahead and just destroy it, one voxel at a time, and what you'll end up with are blister sealed bits, I think. That's okay. So I guess the lesson there is be careful. You work too hard in this game to make steel, to lose one like this. This is kind of painful. Do I get... Yeah, I got 18 blister steel bits. Those eventually will craft into more steel, more blister steel ingots. In fact, yeah, I can make one right now. There. So, yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So I need 24 of those. I got 19 from that one. I'm not sure if it was just from the one ingot, though. It might have been from other ones, too. Let me see if I get blister steel bits from making one correctly. Like from these little runoff chutes. I do. So I'm not sure how many I got from destroying it, but I'm sure I got more excess blister steel from destroying the one completely. And it helped me make another one in my inventory there. Okay. So... yeah, you work too hard on steel in this game to make it casual like that. And I probably got that iron, yeah. So it spat out the iron, and yeah, there it is, the iron ingot that it made for me. So I can tell this is going to be a longer project than I might have otherwise thought earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and refuel these up. If you don't know how to make these iron blooms, basically you just take a bunch of these fire clay bricks, put them in a furnace, there's a recipe, and you burn it down, you get these blooms, and then you have to make the blooms into ingots manually. Okay, so here's meteoric iron. So what we're going to do is we're going to make chain now, and unfortunately chain requires 2 of these, and what we're going to do is we're going to remove 1/3 of one, or 1/2 of, so it requires 1 1/2 basically, but we have to get rid of half of one anyway, so I like to do it at the start. And then we'll use this perk, the heavy hit perk. Now, otherwise you'd have to manually move these around like this, and that takes forever. That is a pain in the ass. So this perk of heavy hit auto voxel placing is really nice. And then of course I've got that perk finishing touch, allows me to finish it more quickly. So that is what we're going to be doing with the meteoric iron. Same here. And probably maybe it's more efficient to do it this way, because I might get a finishing touch hit earlier in the process, thereby saving me the trouble of having to manually remove the voxels. But I didn't get it that time, so we're going to have to do it this way. The key, if you're going to do it that way, is you want to remove the holes first before you remove the big mass of extra voxels, because the holes are where you're likely to make a mistake. And I found that if you just do it this way, that's much more promising. So there's 2 of my meteoric iron chain already. And let's go ahead and put 4 of these down. And then we'll use this steel here. So there's a few things I want to make with the steel. One is that pantomime thing. Ladder maker, that's interesting. Here it is, pantograph. So let's start this. So now we've got a bunch of extra voxels. I've never made this before, so I don't know the best way to do that. Go ahead and get rid of those voxels. Okay, there it is. So I've got a steel pantograph somewhere. Not sure where it... Wait, oh, here it is. Boy, that's a weird looking thing. And then we can make the... What was that other thing? The hand wedge, I think, was the one that I wanted. Okay. And that is the hand wedge. So now I've got steel pantograph and hand wedge. Yeah, that's probably all I need for now. So with the last steel ingot here, I'm just going to start an anvil base, just to remind myself that I need to work on this. This is almost going to do nothing. Where's the anvil base? Can I not make a steel anvil? Is iron anvil the top one? It might, yeah, we may need to just stick with iron on these. Huh. I didn't know that was a problem. That's actually shocking. Oh, I need to make a crowbar. I know that. So let's just do that instead. Crowbar is used to dismantle a translocator, which is part of the process of building your own translocator network. So I'm going to make that. I've been meaning to make that for a while. Okay, so that is the crowbar. Now, with the iron ingots, another one of which is coming up, we can, I guess we might as well just make another iron. Yeah, because I can do all the steel stuff on an iron thing. So let me put more stuff into the forge. Okay. You always want your forges to be heating something up during a metalsmithing session. By the way, let me just... I'm at 102 out of 171 for leveling up my metalsmithing. Okay, so the iron ingot, I am going to go ahead and start a anvil. Hello? Okay, I don't see the anvil on here either. Oh, there it is, sorry. Did I just miss it when I was looking at steel? No, I don't. I legitimately don't think there is a steel anvil in the game. I mean, there is a steel anvil. Do I have to make it on a meteoric iron anvil? That'd be fun, kind of, and annoying if that was the case. Yeah, there's one. So this is... Let me see if I can do that. I guess I'll just hang on to these in my inventory for now, but... I guess we'll make a meteoric iron anvil. That's what we'll do. Okay, so as you can see, that one virtually does nothing to help me with that. Can I go 4? Ooh, I guess... This will be a lot faster now that we've got this perk. Did that... Okay, wow. Yeah. I think I might have lost an anvil by putting 4 down at the same time, but then I got the finishing touch perk, which... completed it with only 4, so I am winning on that outcome there. So there's my anvil base. That took me a lot less time than I thought. And then oh yeah, I was gonna grab a few more of those. Okay, so now we're just waiting, and this is slowing way down, so that's always good. I could help the game along a little bit by making my own here. That's the health hammer is based on wind speed. So obviously if the wind dies down, then your health hammer is going to die down. Okay. And we can go ahead and get rid of these voxels. And there's a handmade iron ingot. Always good to have. And we can actually speed this along by going like this. And now, oops, that allows us to stick that on there. Now we can go ahead and get some more of this mediocre iron going. And let's refill the old forges. Okay. So, with this mediocre iron that's all heated up now, first things first, let's get an anvil top. These are not very hot, are they? So we might as well go for a finishing touch on these. And thus, I'm not going to put 4 down. I'm going to start with 3. See how far we get that. Okay, so I will go with 4. And try to get as much of this done as we can. We may not be able to get lucky again. And we did not. Although I feel like if I bang on it, it might just... I don't want to cheese the system, but... like, every time I do that, I wonder if I'm increasing the chances that I might get lucky with a finishing touch. Anyway, we will need borax to combine these, so I do have a little bit, I think. Yeah, I have 1. I could easily get a little bit more. Borax is kind of hard to come by, and I had to make it out of kernite, whatever it's called, which is like a added thing from a mod. So anyway, just gotta speed this along a bit, help you out. Hellhammer is delightful, but it's a little bit slow and inefficient, I would say. Okay, well, should I take another couple stabs at this? I'm not sure even how many of these are valid hits with this hammer. Is that it? Okay, well, I think I basically finished as much as I can finish without adding another ingot. So we're wait on another ingot there. Okay, this is about ready. I'm gonna wait just another second here so it's a little bit warmer. And then we'll put this on there. I'll wait until it gets up to 1,000 degrees. That is still quite warm. Okay. So now we've got quite a few more voxels to hit into place. Why aren't you... Oh, it's too cold to work. Oh, okay. That's why it went away. So we'll keep this whole thing up now. In the meantime, I can make a chain out of this. Yeah, you gotta make sure your iron is hot. So I've got like 2 voxels that I've destroyed inadvertently, which is why we do it this way. Because now I can like carefully whittle these down, and now I can kind of make up for those 2 lost voxels easily. And now we can go like that, get the holes done, and there we go. We got our chain. And we'll put that, combine it. Okay, we are running out of room in our inventory. Yeah, I don't think I need that steel ingot anymore, so I'm going to put that away. Okay, and then this is back to good temp there. Okay. And I just feel like I'm gonna do this legit way and go ahead and put the extra one on there. Okay, so now I feel like there's quite a few extra voxels we need to shave off. I want to be kind of careful here because I don't want to waste any more ingots than I absolutely need to, but that appears to be the last one. Okay, cool. So now we take our borax. I don't know if we need more than one. I can't remember. I guess we just need one. Okay, and now we've got a meteoric iron anvil. So that's pretty darn awesome. And it is not even hot anymore. So I can go ahead and put that there. Awesome. Okay. So what was I making with iron? I don't remember. Was I making anything with iron? I guess not. So we'll go ahead and put the iron away. And now we can make more of our chain. I do need to make a Hellhammer head that's steel. I'm not sure if that matters for working things on the Hellhammer, but I feel like it does, so... Okay, nice. Finishing touch. Okay. And we're getting tons of these little blister steel bits and... what else? Meteoric iron bits. Unfortunately, the iron and meteoric iron bits we have to put back into the furnace to make things with, but the blister steel we don't. It just forges into a recipe inexplicably. Okay, and so I can actually do that by removing voxels as well, get a finishing touch. That's been really handy. Let's put this borax away. We don't need it right now. Okay. So we're coming right along. And let's grab another few of those. We're going to need to continue making meteoric iron stuff, so we'll continue with that, and I'll make this into my own. This is also, earlier I checked, this was at 101 or something, now it's 115, so we're making good progress towards our next level up in ironworking. Every time I level up, of course, I get to add to those beautiful, beautiful perks that save me a lot of time and resources on this process. And I think it's well earned, because this, I'm definitely putting in the hours. I put in a lot of hours before I had any perks, and so it's really nice to have those perks, because it just saves a lot of time on things like this. Okay. That's not what I wanted. Oh yeah, forgot to put more of these on. Okay, so that'll be 4 more chains. We've got 5, so it'll be 9, so... Alright, and we'll go ahead and pound those voxels into place. Now we'll shave off the extra. Yeah. You know what? I forgot, I need to make a steel Hellhammer head. So I think I'll place this in, and... I'm not sure if it requires 1 or 2. I guess I'll try. I guess I'll use 2. Why not? Worst case scenario, I just put a hot one back down. I like that my cat is laying in the fireplace ashes. That's the one I abandoned, by the way. One thing about abandoning them is that they won't have any more kids, so that's good. Okay, so that's coming up on 1,000. Just wait 1 second here for this. Alright. Close enough. And we've got a cat laying here. It doesn't matter, it's just kind of one of those cat things. Alright. Okay, so as you can see, even removing what seemed like a lot at the beginning isn't nearly enough to get the job done. Cat, get out of my way. Okay. So, that's 6. Oh, I forgot to put the second steel in there. Oops. Okay. So I've actually measured this out before, and I'm pretty sure it's 1 layer and then 5 more is the total amount of voxels you need to remove. And then you just pound the rest into place like so. There you go. So that's 7. Okay, and I'll start heating up more of these. We're almost done with our iron bloom stack, which is great. By the way, whenever I make armor in this game, I always like to start with the hardest one, and then I work my way down to the legs and then the helm. So I always start with the body, and I work my way down to the easier ones to make, because that way I'm committed, you know. If you're gonna make the body armor, you might as well make the legs. A lot easier. It's like going downhill at the end of a long uphill run. You're going downhill on the way home, you know, kind of thing. Okay. Alright, and then we pound the rest into place. Alright. So now we're up to 8, 9. Get that up there. Get this on the pile. Okay, here's the 2 steels. Okay, so what was I going to do? Health Hammerhead? Yes. Indeed, we do need 2. So that was a good call to do 2. And we've got a couple extra voxels. Okay, there's our steel Health Hammerhead. Go ahead and get these bits into the bucket as well. So we actually got quite a few meteoric iron bits. So that's nice. So now what we can do is reset this guy. I have to do this from outside, but that's fine. And then, fuck, how do I, where's the, okay, that's an ingredient for that. I need 8 timber. Okay, we can easily do that. Here we go. Okay, there we go. We are in business. Now we've got steel on meteoric iron. Fantastic. And now we need that toggle. Sweet. Okay. And that seems to be working. Come on, go. There you go. Okay, so it's working. Alright. So now we just need these two into chain. Okay, we've run out of food again. Let me just deal with that. Oh, okay, no problem. Okay, so go ahead and start pounding this back where we want it. Okay, and last one for the body chain. Not getting very many finishing touches lately, am I? Okay, so there's our 11 chain for the body armor. Now, we obviously are going to need more chain for the feet, so let me just, for leg armor of any type, it doesn't have to be meteoric iron. We need 6 more, so there's 2. Actually, you know what I should probably do for the sake of demonstration, because I can do a lot of this off camera. I'm going to go ahead and just switch over to making scale now, because I don't need to make all 3 on camera, and a lot of this is just repeat, rinse and repeat kind of stuff, which isn't exactly the stuff of an exciting stream. So why don't I go ahead and switch over now to making scale. So I don't know scale as well. Where is it even? Here it is. Okay, so we get 2 at a time. Looks like there's not enough voxels in one ingot, but we'll see about that. Yeah, so we need one more one more ingot there. That's fine. Actually, yeah, it's gonna be pretty close to 2 full ingots. I wonder if you have to use 3 and without the perks. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 extra voxels, I think. And so this is for the chain body armor, but then to get the scale, we need 6 on that one, so I'll make 6. So it's pretty easy, actually, after you make your scale to make it into meteoric iron. Once you make your chain, to make it into scale, I mean, sorry. So why don't we go ahead and make another couple scale. Oops, what did I just click on? Ah. Oh, I'm doing a meteoric iron plate. Okay, I guess that's not a waste. I can make a lantern or something. I accidentally clicked on the thing before I paused and selected the scale there, so I'm wasting, not really wasting, but I'm inefficiently directing my efforts here. Okay, so very few extra voxels there, but very lovely. Okay, so iron ingot goes there. Okay, so let's do another scale now. I was actually really close to the scale anyway, just accidentally. I was 1 over. So there's like 21 voxels that are extra, so I'm going to get rid of like 15. Let's get rid of 18. And we'll see how close that gets us. Because I might have miscounted, you know, so I want to be cautious. Okay, I didn't get to count that one because it rudely finished before I was ready. And, okay, that ingot finished. That's what that was earlier. Okay, so let's finish our iron blooms, basically, with the rest of this charcoal. Alright, so now we just make another scale, and we should be good to go with our body armor anyway. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove 18 more. Okay, and we'll see if this gets us pretty close. Okay, yeah, so we're actually perfect. It is 18 plus 3 is 21. So we now know we can remove an entire half of an ingot to get... Oh, I already had enough scales. That's fine. Well, we'll use them anyway. Might as well make these into scales while I'm out here. Okay, so again, just to reiterate what I was just saying, if I remove an entire half of an ingot, that's the perfect number of voxels to remove, which is very similar to the chain, but plus 5. So the scale requires 5 more voxels than the chain does. Yes, these are the things you learn when you play a lot of Vintage Story. By the way, this perk, very unrealistic. Clearly. Okay, so this is going to be our last bloom, and then those should all heat up. And then I might as well make this into, what do we have? 12 chain, 8 scale. How about 1 of each? No, I've got 10 scale. So let's make these both into chain. So I'm not sure that we need more scale. I chose meteoric iron for this because now that I'm in the steel age, I'm not going to need a lot of meteoric iron armor, really, for anything other than decorative. And this is primarily a decorative project, although it will be my strongest armor for now. But I plan on making a steel plate, which is the same process, but you make plates instead of scale. And then you apply it to a leather jerkin. Okay, and last one. Yes. Make 1 more chain here. Before we go make our armor, I am going to finish out these iron blooms. So it'll just take a second, but I think it's worth doing that while I've got my charcoal. 4, 5. Okay, that's fine. While I've got it hot, you know, because I don't want it to cool off simply to make armor. So I'm going to process it while it's hot, and then we'll go make the armor. Okay. And that's coming along, so we'll go ahead and manually do these. I always feel guilty leaving a forge with, you know, unused coals. In fact, see if those even get hot enough on the remaining coals there, but if they do, I'll use them. And our Hellhammer is worthless right now because of the low wind speed, so I'm just going to do these manually real quick. It doesn't take long with my perks. That finishing touch is such a nice perk. As is the heavy hit one. Okay. Okay, and the forges are officially out of fuel, so that was a futile exercise in wishful thinking, I guess, or what do you want to call it. Okay, so I do think I have enough heat here to work this one. Hopefully, yes, fairly. There's a perk that every time you hit the metal with your hammer, it heats up a little bit. That would be kind of convenient in a situation like this. But I think I'm going to be okay. Okay, so that's a lot of material that we have in our inventory. But let's go ahead and, boy, we used up a lot of meteoric iron today. Let's finish this one out, just so I don't forget it. Okay. So, good forging session. By the way, yeah, we're on the verge of getting our next perk point there. So, what I'm going to do is... let's put this charcoal back, the 10 charcoal we have left. By the way, let me go check my steel upstairs. Ooh, it's getting frosty down here. I probably should put a roof on at some point. So we're probably at 90, right? 82, okay. So as long as I got a full batch of whatever, did I use coke on that? I think I did. Yeah. So this will complete it for sure. Yeah. Okay, that'll be fine. Okay, so, and yeah, it's -8 degrees. So I probably should put some hatches down or something. You know what I could do? I have some boards, yeah. What is the hatch recipe? I can't, trapdoor, I think they call it. Hatch, trapdoor. Where is it? Ah, come on. Here it is, sorry. Okay. So, what I could do is this. Okay. Well, I need to make more of these, obviously. I need to go get some more sticks, but I need more anyway, so it's fine. But if I do this, you know... sorry. That. Yeah, that'll work. Then I'll have a seal here that I can eventually... I think we'll treat this room as enclosed at that point. I need to close this gap there, I guess. And I need to put this anvil down too. Okay, so armor. Last thing I'm going to do on the episode is make this armor. So I actually have a full leather set here. Now leather jerkin and stuff is just really easy leather recipes you can look up. But I've already got a full set here, so I might as well use it. Okay. And I accidentally switched that out. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so now we go like this with our chain. And we get our chain body. I guess we can do the helm too. And then I think I do need leather. Okay, so oh, no we don't. Okay, so just 6 scale. Okay, there's our meteoric iron scale mill. That is so cool. It looks very similar to the chain, it's just longer striations. I was kind of hoping it would look cooler. Maybe the helm will look cooler. Chain, sorry. And that's an ingredient in the scale, which is 2, and then leather on the side. Okay, so we'll do that one too, real quick, because I can. Is it that and leather on the side? Yes. Okay, and then I'll do the other one off camera, the legs. I'll do that, but I'm honestly a little disappointed. It looks so similar to the chain, but whatever, we can say we did it. The plate is where they start making it look badass, so I'll probably do that at some point with steel. But it is a long process, as you can tell. But it does pay off. It is worth it. Last thing I guess I'll do real quick, I'm gonna grab a silver ingot. I'm gonna grab. Do I have any beeswax sitting around? I want to just. Well, I guess I'll just grab a candle here. I wish there was a way you could pick up individual candles rather than have to break a whole stack. But. And then 2 clear quartz crystals. And we'll go ahead and make a lantern. With our meteoric iron plate. Never thought I'd make a meteoric iron lantern. Why can't I make a lantern? What do I... Okay, I guess I have to put it up here. And the silver just makes it brighter. Why can't I... Silver quartz. Oh, it's a silver plate. Okay, well that's easy enough. Unfortunately, I have to heat these up real quick, but I think silver heats up faster. I could be wrong. Yeah, whatever. Okay, oops. Well, let's add another coal to it just in case. I guess in the meantime I can work on those trapdoors. So I've got... I need a little bit more wood. And mostly just sticks, which is ironic because I usually try to get rid of sticks. Yeah, I'm keeping those. Okay, so I've got tons of sticks here. So my hope here is that I can seal the bottom floor, basically. So we'll take these. And we will put sticks in the middle. And we'll make a bunch of trapdoors. Let's see if that's enough. May or may not be. Probably not. Actually, it might be perfect amount, but we'll see. Okay, so I think... Can I do this? Or do I have to, like, do it on that? I guess that'll be fine for most of them. The one that I might not be able to get away with is that stair. Can I do it? Huh, okay, that works. So, obviously when I open these, I can still access outside. But now, it should think of this as a sealed room, and it looks like it has because these are no longer... Well, they're frosted still. Never mind. Hold on. Do I have to keep these closed? Let's see if that... Yeah, that did it. That thawed out the armors. So I think it thinks of this now as a sealed room, except for there is one opening. Alright, I guess I'll just, here. So the reason that's open is because I think it affects the health hammer. See, watch this. See how that's going ever so slowly? Well, can't really test it now because the health hammer stopped, but if I put that there, I'm pretty sure the health hammer malfunctions. So, we'll see. Doesn't really matter though, for now. What I might try doing is chiseling and see if that has any impact. Or the other workaround would be to put a block out here, right here, and then chisel it all the way down except for one voxel thick. So it's a little plate over the outside of the what would be the window. But I'm pretty sure that's not going to pound again while that block is there. Anyway. Silver plate. Easy peasy. Great way to end the episode. Okay, there we go. And we got a silver bit. Okay. So now, finally, we can make this candle. This lantern, I mean. Okay, and we might as well use that in our hand instead of our iron one. We've got a silver iron one here that we use. But, is this, quartz lining glass? So the silver one, I think I put up here. I'm not sure. I don't know where I put the silver iron. Maybe it's in the basement. I had another silvered iron lantern. Okay, no, there. A little tricky to navigate that, but it's fine. So maybe I put the silver one down here, probably. Iron with quartz lining and glass panels. Well, it's got glass panels. I don't know where I put the other silver one. I had a silver one. Well, maybe it doesn't tell me it has silver in it from the tooltip. Well, that's definitely not the silver one. I imagine it's this one. Nope. Well, maybe I didn't make it. Well, it's whatever one I had in my hand. Oh, well, obviously it's that one, but could have sworn I made a second one, I guess is what I'm saying. And we're hungry again. That's fine. Yeah, there it is. Okay, that one is the 20. Okay. Light level 20, I mean. Okay, so now we've got an extra lantern, so I'll probably put that outside somewhere, maybe on a path or in our new area, probably. Whatever. Alright, well, this has been a fun episode, very productive. Oh, I could probably... hang on. Could probably test out that tool that I made. Yeah, let's just give it a good test here. So this is the pantograph. This is the copy and paste tool. Okay, so I took a picture of it. How do I... Okay, so let me just okay. Right click to perform action. Snapshot mode will take a copy of the chisel block to use in other modes. Replace mode will replace the entire shape. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so right click to take the snapshot. Then we'll go replace mold. Okay. And that obviously copied it, but it did it upside down, which is cool. That's good. It's a good start. Now what I want to do is flip it. Now, can I do that with the pantograph, or do I need the other one? Do add shape, paste material, assign neck door tool. That's whatever. Okay, so now this thing. Rotate block. So now I rotate it. I'm just going to try to rotate it upside down. Okay. Move block. Rotate. Okay. So that's right side up. Okay. I wonder if I were to go up there and just try that facing the other way, if it would do it upside down. No. Okay. What if I try rotating it from this? Okay, well that seems kind of to have worked. I'm not really sure. I guess it's the way you stand is how that rotation is affected. So now, if I get rid of this and this, pretty cool. So now I've got a carved marble column that kind of works for me. So now if I were to snapshot and replace here, okay, and snapshot and replace here, you have to click it twice because it needs to know it's chiseling, and snapshot this upside down one and replace. Okay, cool. Awesome. So, might as well do all these top ones at the same time. And bottom ones. Okay, and then snapshot the middle part and replace. Very cool, very cool. I'm really liking these tools. That is very easy to use. Once you get it aligned properly, it's actually quite pleasant. So that is pretty cool. And we'll do a lot more of that, but this is proof of concept hardcore. That is really good proof of concept right there. So, probably what I need to do next is figure out what I'm going to do with these arches. I mean, I could make that work in a thin arch. It's just not what I'd prefer. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But I can't see the column going any shorter. What I could do is move all the columns down a bit, I guess. But I kind of like them up here on this wall, so nobody can breach the wall. I don't know. It definitely looks really cool from a distance. Oh shit. Not that far of a distance. There's a giant hole there, I forgot to mention. Okay, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. It has been a good one. Good productivity. We'll see you next time on Vintage Story. By the way, yeah, my health hammer is totally disabled with this block here. See? And now it's going again. See what I mean? So I think the thing to do would be to place this out here. Here. The one way I could do that would be to do that, and that. Put that back. Okay. And we are getting hardcore drifter activity underneath of us down here somewhere. There is a cave right here too, and it's probably there, but we'll see. Anyway, the way to handle this right here is to this is my workaround. Is that still working inside? Or is that blocking? Hard to say. Oh, there's... sorry. Never mind. Okay, I can flip and rotate using these, the chisel itself. That's interesting. Okay, Hellhammer's working now that I've got this chisel down. And what I'll do is I'll just add another one right outside the back of this. Sadly, I have to do all 8 of these like this. My copper chisel is going to start not cutting it here in a second. Okay, so that is the workaround. I'm going to leave it at that thickness. I'm not going to do the single pixel ones, but that is my workaround for the problem I was having there with that. I wonder if I should maybe dig a little passage into that drifter area over there. Anyway. Yeah, that seems to work fine. So we're going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Vintage Story.